Get ready for 30 more minutes.
The day of miracles has come!
Starting now. This is the Sports Source.
All right, welcome back. About 28 more minutes, actually. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. You know what awful little critter has made a comeback in recent years? The bed bug. Ugh. If you are one of those unfortunate travelers who's brought some of those little devils back home with you, Southeast Termite and Pest Control can kill them for you. Give them a call. They offer the best treatments available. They do great work. I use them in my home. Thankfully, I've never had to use them with bed bugs, but the more you travel, the more that is a risk these days. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, they'll help clean it up if that's what you come home with. Give them a call this week. All right, speaking of this week, here's what the Volunteers face on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. They are at Missouri. Missouri and South Carolina this week, both 8-5, just like the Volunteers. Missouri is ranked 54th. As of last night, they were ranked 54th in Ken Pomeroy's rankings. Tennessee is ranked 55th in Ken Pomeroy's rankings. You see that South Carolina, not so much. But the thing about Missouri, they're 28th in defensive efficiency. Mike Strange, you covered the Conzo Martin area. You know what kind of ball he likes to play. You know what Tennessee's offensive struggles have been. How's this for a matchup on Tuesday?
This might be like I remember when Conzo, when they went to Georgetown and Virginia on that road trip and scored 74 points, 38 one place and 36 the other. This might be first one to 40. And another thing, I don't think LSU spent a whole lot of time looking at film of Vescovi about what he was going to bring to the picture. Well, now there's a film on him. Now Conzo and his defense can go to work and be a little more prepared for Vescovi. So that's
very good point.
That's going to make it even harder on him. And plus, he's playing on the road for the first time. You know, here he played a college game, but it was in front of 20,000 people at home. So. This is another test for Vescovi. It's a real test for Tennessee that's having trouble scoring right now.
Great point.
I do think both these teams, Drew Smith with Missouri, he's a point guard, and then even look at South Carolina, the amount of guys that they play. That's one of the things we've talked about with the UT struggle is Barnes doesn't have the rope that he can pull guys out and say, hey, man, sit down, you got to pick it up. So that defense of wearing Vescovi out could absolutely be an issue. And Missouri's got some – Tillman can't stay in the game because of foul trouble, but if he can, he's a good player, and they've beaten some good teams like in Illinois.
The irony is we were looking at earlier this year talking about Turner. Okay, once you get Vescovi, you'll at least have somebody to give him a breather every now and then. If he can come in and just take a few minutes. Now with Turner gone, you're just in the same position. It's just now you got a freshman in there instead of a senior. Mm-hmm. So Vescovi's the guy that's going to have to be sitting there playing 37, 38 minutes a night eventually.
Yeah, I will say that if Vescovi can learn how to play against athleticism and length a little bit better, his tempo for initiating an offense and running a team is a better tempo than Lamonte is running a team, because Lamonte is, all right, I get pressured, I'm just going to go faster. Vescovi's got that point guard sense about him that he's going to try to control a team. You just got to learn how to play against quicker, more athletic, longer guys that you're going to see in the SEC.
All right, quick answers here. Rick Barnes needs somebody to step up this week. Who are you, if you could wave a magic wand and get someone either to up their game that we haven't seen before or to get back to their old game, who are you waving your wand at?
Well, for the obvious one's Jordan Bowden. He's got to shoot it better. He's got to keep shooting. He can't quit shooting. He's got to keep shooting. He's the obvious one. But since we've already talked about him, I think John Fulkerson needs to have a little more presence on the boards. He's averaging 5 rebounds a game. Like to see him, and Pons too, have a little more presence on the boards. And Josiah Jordan-James, he's showing some flashes of being more aggressive offensively. I think he's got to sustain that.
Good first half that went to nothing in the second half yesterday.
But you mentioned a lot of the players, and I was going to ride with Coach Barnes and this coaching staff. It's the first time that this program's felt some adversity in the last year. You know, you've got to be able to build confidence. You as a coaching staff have to create easier opportunities to get guys out of a slump. And so I'm going to put it on Barnes and this coaching staff to kind of rile the troops and to try to make the game easier for them when they're having scoring challenges.
Very good. Mike Strange, stick around. We're going to have you talking football with the guys. Mark, thank you. Great job today. We'll see you next Sunday, and I'll put you back at the wipey board. When we come back, we're going to be talking about turnover on the Vol staff. And then we got Jeremy Pruitt and the decade of the 20s, a lot of stuff. Come on back.